Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone. So today I would like to present my study with the title The Performance of Waqf Institutions via the Maqasid Syariah Index. So I am Nina Razila Lemut from UNK. Okay, so as we know, Waqf is one amongst the potential Islamic economic instruments which can stimulate the socio-economic for the society. So the term Waqf refers to the matter of detention of valuable property to benefit it. So this definition is based on Ibn Manzur, 1990. Another definitions of Waqf based on Wahba Zuhaili. So Waqf means holding or controlling valuable property because of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, only where the benefits are taken for the common good. Okay, and then Waqf is a wasila for the Waqf to bring himself closer to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala because there is an element of taqarrub in addition to obtaining an unending reward. So this definition is according to the Siti Masyidah Muhammad. Okay. So in Waqf, Maqasid Syariah stated as the higher objective of the rules of the Syariah, the observance of which facilitate the normal functionings of society by enhancing the public goods. We call it as maslahah. Okay, basically, in Maqasid Syariah, so there are three parts of Maqasid Syariah. First part is daruriyah, we call it as daruriyah. So this part is included in the basic needs that must be met by every individual. Okay, the second part is hajiyah. So hajiyah refers to the benefits. There is a human needs and desire. And the last one is tahsiniyah. So it refers to the comfort that will be enjoyed by humans who want it. Okay, so Maqasid Syariah based on Ibn Ashur, it refers to the secrets that can be understood from the Islamic Sharia in all or most of the process legislation. Okay, basically, Maqasid Sharia Index is a concept that was recently created as a measurements device for the financial performance of Islamic financial organization. Okay, so in Waqf institutions, an effective and efficient management depends on the implementations of Sharia principles, which is the methods of achieving the purpose, taking care benefits and repel damage. Okay, so in this study, so we have found that there has been an argument on the measurements that relates to the performance of non-profit organizations, particularly for Waqf institutions. Okay, this is due to the complexity of the measurements as these organizations focus on and emphasize achieving their missions in which the accomplishments are difficult to measure. Okay, so the measurement, in the general, the performance measurements of any organization in the social sector should be driven by its mission and goals. Okay, so the measurements has to consider the formations of the organization enables to achieve social, cultural, welfare, and religious objectives. Okay, so the formulations of performance measurement for Waqf institutions actually need to be guided by the objective or Maqasid of Waqf. And then based on the argument, performance measurement is very close and directly related to the objective of an organization. Okay, so there are three objectives developed in this study. First objective is we want to identify the ideal objective of Waqf institutions from the theory of Maqasid Syariah. For the second objective, we want to propose an idea of developing a model of Waqf institutions performance measures based on the objective identified in first research objective. And the last objective is to test the Waqf institutions performance measures developed in second research objective on a sample of 13 Waqf institutions. Okay, for the methodology, this study use a purposive sampling in the selections of the 13 of Waqf institutions in Malaysia. Okay, and then for the research design, the study used quantitative research to assess the performance of state institution in Malaysia by using Maqasid Syariah index ratios. And then for for the sources of data, we use the secondary data based on annual report or annual financial statement for each Waqf institutions from 2016 until 2020. Okay, for MSI or Maqasid Syariah Index Indicator, so actually the study designed the Maqasid Syariah Indicator following by the previous study following Muhammad et al. 2008 and Hudafi and Nordin 2019, but with some adjustment and contextualizations to the nature of the Waqf institutions. Alright, so in this study, there are 5 broad of Maqasid Syariah, namely faith or religion, which is deen. Okay, second, intellect advancement, life, nafs, progeny, nose, and welfare, mal. Okay, so we use in this study 5 broad of Maqasid Syariah, okay, to measure Maqasid Syariah index. Okay, so the concepts, which is we use short form C to reverse concept, okay, into the observable characteristic of Maqasid Syariah, and then which are termed as dimension, which is D, and then the dimension D are further broken down into measurable behaviors, and it's referred to as element, which is E, and then broken down into measurable performance that refers to as ratio indicator, which is R. Okay, so all the elements here we will use to measure Maqasid Syariah index indicator. Okay, so as we can see here, this is the verifications of the performance measures based on the proposed by the previous study, Hudafi and Hudafi 2019. Okay, so based on this table proposed, the evaluations of the individual objective can be realized. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the evaluations of Waqf objective. Okay, and this is the formula used in this study to calculate MSI based on the 5 objectives: objective 1, objective 2, 3, 4, and 5. So hence we can calculate the overall MSI by the total up between the 5 objectives of Maqasid Syariah here. Okay, so after we calculate using the formula, so we can determine the performance ratio or Maqasid Syariah index based on Maqasid Syariah index indicator, okay, between 13 Waqf institutions in Malaysia. Okay, so from this table, the performance ratio of 5 Syariah objective of 13 Waqf institutions can be measured from the 2016 until 2020. So as you can see here, all MSI percentage or Maqasid Syariah Index percentage values for 13 Waqf institutions experience ups and downs from 2016 until 2020. Okay. However, all the percentage of MSI here in 5 year amongst 30 Waqf institutions in Malaysia exceeded 80% and above. Okay, so this proves that there is still space that needs to be improved in the management system of Waqf institutions. Okay, lastly, for discussions, based on the result and findings, we found that the performance assessment of Waqf institution using the Maqasid Syariah Index concept shows that the achievement of Waqf institution performance is quite good, since the Maqasid Syariah Index percentage is 80% and above. Okay, and then Waqf development needs to be guided under specific Maqasid, and then it should have its whole Maqasid or objective that can portray a better reasoning of the practice, especially when dealing with new expectation or the contemporary needs in the society. Okay, so hence the Waqf institution especially can monitor and re-evaluate the undeveloped and abandoned Waqf properties and consider the values using a larger, more impactful and bargaining scale of development. So the study suggests for future research to consider starting point for further developing objective and performance measure for Waqf institution based on the Sharia framework. Okay, so overall the study successfully proposing the Maqasid for Waqf development, but is still open for expansion and contention through future studies. Okay, that's all. Thank you very much for listening.